Yo, what is going on, my dudes? Welcome to another RuneScape news coverage video. For this video, we're going to be talking about the Eldritch Crossbow coming with Elite Dungeons 3, as well as some other rewards coming from that update. So without any further ado, let's jump right into the video. Let's go.
Cats is the illest. What you talking about, Willis?
Alright guys, so the Eldritch Crossbow is the new Tier 92 two-handed crossbow coming with the Elite Dungeons 3, the Shadow Reef. Now, obtaining this is going to be coming from the final boss of that dungeon, which is the Ambassador. The crossbow itself will not drop as a whole. It drops in 3 separate parts: the stock, limb, and the mechanism. Each piece has the exact same chance to drop from the monster, all 3 of which are tradable. And parts can be doubled as drops if you toggle your loot chest to not pick up any of your items. So I highly recommend you do so. Now, these 3 pieces of the crossbow do not drop in any particular order like Telos's orbs, and you can get repeats. So it's not like if you get one, the next one is going to be one you didn't already previously have. It's completely random. So keep that in mind. That means completing the collection log for this particular dungeon is going to be quite difficult, as these crossbow parts are very rare. Now, they are more common in solo, but the difficulty of solo really ramps up with this particular dungeon, specifically with the Ambassador, so there is that trade-off. So it is a crossbow. You get utility from criminal bolts and stuff, but it is two-handed, so you don't get things like needle strike. But as you probably would have guessed, the Eldritch Crossbow does have a special attack. That special attack is called Split Soul. Basically what it does, for 20 seconds, I don't know exactly how much adrenaline you have to sacrifice, but for 20 seconds, it will reverse your Soul Split prayer. So when you're using Soul Split, instead of healing you, it will instead damage the opponent, depending on how much damage you are already doing. They say in the current build, I don't know if this is how it's going to play out in release, but at the stage that they're working on right now, whatever damage would have healed you from Soul Split is instead doubled and thrown back at the target. This also stacks with the benefits you get from wearing the Amulet of Souls, making this a particularly dangerous combination for those 20-second durations that the Split Soul special attack lasts for. I don't know how much of this is subject to change, so keep that in mind. It's not long at all till we see this actually end up in the game, so chances are not much of this, if anything, is going to be changed. But just want to let you know pretty much the ins and outs of the new Tier 92 two-handed crossbow, the Eldritch Crossbow. On top of this, in terms of rewards from Elite Dungeons, there are 3 new sigils. And they are Demon Slaying, Dragon Slaying, and Undead Slaying sigils. They work pretty much the same as you would with those perks from Invention. However, they do stack with those perks. So you can combine that and even combine it with something like the Salve Amulet to have very increased damage for those particular types of targets. They do say that these sigils have a pretty low upkeep cost, so they're cheap to use, making them a pretty viable option for somebody who doesn't have or doesn't afford something like a limitless sigil. There's also 3 new pets. One will be from the Ambassador, one is actually awarded from an achievement, and one's unlocked from a rarely dropped tradable item. On top of this, there are new arrows that are being brought into the game. Components found in here are only found here in the dungeons, and they will make up the new Blackstone arrows, which we do not know exactly what they do at this point, but they do have some kind of special property that will weaken your opponent in some form or fashion. Also coupled with this, these arrows and any arrows will going forward be able to be used with charge bows. That's things like your Saren God bow, Decimation, Zarite bow. Bows that don't typically use any type of ammunition will then be able to use not only these arrows, but any other arrows as well. On top of this, we have the final addition to the Tier 90 Power Armor Boots. The Ragefire Glands will be an item you can get from Elite Dungeons 3, as well as your typical Onyx Dust, which we've seen from the first 2 dungeons. That pretty much wraps it up for your rewards for the Shadow Reef, the Elite Dungeon 3. Let me know what you guys think about anything in this video down in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And with that, I'm going to wrap up the video. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed yet, you want to stay up to date on all things RuneScape related, then hit that subscribe button. Anyways, I appreciate you watching. I am out. Peace.